All right, guys, welcome back. So, I'm moving forward with both this guy, this new rotor housing with the small shaft, and I also printed out a new one. Let me put this off to the side here. I also printed out a new one, which will take a much bigger shaft, this carbon fiber rod shaft, which is very, very strong. So Sky Collection had made some suggestions saying that because this guy is so heavy, and it is really heavy, that I probably need to have a bigger shaft here. And he's right. Because originally, this is what I was going to go with. This, excuse me, this larger shaft. Simply because it'll hold more weight. And so I printed out a new rotor. This one's actually a little bit smaller. Excuse me. This one is 50 millimeters. This one's 48 millimeters. And, excuse me. Damn. Because it's smaller, the magnets are closer together. And I printed out a black sleeve for this just for safety. But what I was thinking, come on. What I was thinking, because these magnets are so close together, having them north, south might not be the best way to do it. What I was thinking about was putting the poles this way. So I'd have north, south, south, north, north, south, south, north. And in doing so, I would create super poles. So if this was north, south, south, north, this would be a super south. North, north, super north. South, south, super south. And north, north, super north. I'm going to try that because I think that might make a huge difference. I got to be careful with these freaking magnets. They are so powerful, especially this guy here. Let me put this over here. But what I'm going to do is, oops, let me lower this down a little bit so you can see better. Oh, there we go. I'm not going to do it with this configuration. I mean, with this smaller shaft. I still want to try my my 3D printed mounts. Also, what I'm going to do is, he had also mentioned that I shouldn't use the ball bearings. I don't think that's 100% correct. I think the ball bearings work fine as far as, you know, minimal friction up against the glass that's inside these housings here. And I'm not going to use the big rotor with these. I'm going to build out the I'm going to build out a new ring magnet housing using the bigger magnets when I set this guy up. But what he had mentioned was I should be using, you know, non-magnetic stainless steel, and I should have it machined in a configuration where it has a point on the end. Well, I don't have access to a machine shop, and I don't have that type of tooling here where I could get myself a bar of magnetic or a rod of magnetic, non-magnetic stainless steel and machine it down and all that. So I'm going to stick with the carbon fiber rod. But what I'm going to do is get, and I have them over here. I don't know if they'll fit. I might have to order some new ones. I have these brass rods. I have smaller ones that'll go inside these, but I think these will fit inside this tube really well. Let me check it out while I got y'all here. Yeah, it's a little sloppy. I may have to get a bigger one. I don't want it to be sloppy like that. And, you know, I was thinking, well, like if it's too sloppy, I could put some resin in there, but that really wouldn't cut it. But I'm going to get rods that'll fit in there nice and snug. I thought I had gotten some, but I think I bought these rods to fit inside this guy here. Yeah. And this is too small for this. So this was the original, the original shaft I was going to use. God damn it. The original shaft I was going to use, which was bigger than this one, but it's definitely smaller than the one I'm going to use. So yeah, what a freaking mess. So I've got the bigger rods which will fit this. I could, of course, print out another rotor housing that would fit this guy that I already have, but that's like a 4-hour print, even with the fast profile, but it does fit this guy really good. And I would leave it extended by a certain amount, and then, come on, and then the magnet would slide on here and fit up against the end there. I don't even know if these magnets fit. Oh yeah, they do fit. So it would sit like this, and it would have, you know, it would sit up against the end of this tube here, and then I would sharpen this out. And that would kind of alleviate having to need these. But I don't know. I'm heading down a couple of paths here. I don't really know which one I want to take. This fits perfectly in there, but doesn't in the newer one I got. And I kind of knew that. I don't know why I didn't. So it would sit like this, right? The magnet would go on there. It would sit up against there. And then I would either put some kind of brace against this and then sharpen this end here, which wouldn't be too hard. So I think what I'm going to do in the meantime, since I don't have, I'm waiting on the larger magnets, the larger ring magnets for this guy here. You can see I've got an end cap. I've got 1-inch ring magnets, which are going to fit perfectly with the ring magnet I'm going to use for the larger rings, not these smaller ones. But I think in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll print out another one of these to fit this smaller shaft and try to, make a semi point out of this. Not a sharp point, but a small point. So I'll get that print going. But in the meantime, I'm going to set this guy back up to fit inside here. Let me get this. To fit inside here and get it going. Because I did get new magnets to use on the ends of this, and they're much bigger. They're much bigger magnets, but they have the same inner diameter. So they'll fit in there nicely. It'll be a really tight fit. I think they'll fit in there. I better check that. I got a couple of different sizes. So let me see if I can get this guy with this shaft. And I have some brass rods that I can put inside here just to strengthen this for the time being. But I'm not going to use, let me get this out of the way so it doesn't, I'm not going to use this setup because it's too weak. It'll break right off. As you saw in the last video, it snapped, where is it? It snapped this little guy right off. this guy would fit in the end of here, or it would fit, yeah, it would fit over the magnet, I think it was. Anyway, let me get some of it going and pick up the shit that keeps falling all over the place, and I'll bring you right back. Ciao. All right, so just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, this is what the rod would look like with these larger magnets on there. And this is not going inside the carbon fiber rod. It's sitting on the outside. So there's no way for it to break. And with this brass rod on the inside, it would be nice and sturdy, at least just for a temporary. And so what I needed to do was, let me put this down without it attaching to something. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. If I lift this up a little bit, what I need to, oops, son of a bitch, what I need to do is measure the distance. So this seems like it would be perfect because the ball would be up against this back plate here, actually to be like out here. I might have to put a shim, anyway, I might have to put a shim in here to push that out some, because this magnet needs to be the edge, this outside edge here needs to be even with the outside edge of this ring magnet, but it actually needs to be in just a hair, like about a millimeter, and that locks it in up against this plate, but doesn't allow it to shoot back out because it'll be up against the other one here, and it also allows it to stay perfectly in center of the ring. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm talking about, and that's the same thing I want to do with this big one. But like I said earlier, I may change my mind and get some brass rods that'll fit inside there and sharpen the end or something to that effect. But let me see if I can get this thing together and get it set up. Stay tuned. So really quick, just as a side note, this really pisses me off. When you buy these carbon fiber rods, if you don't buy them from the same manufacturer, they're actually different in sizes. Not so much that it, well, yeah, no, it is so much that it ruins everything. So this guy slides down inside here just fine, no problem, but the magnets are loose in here, whereas this guy, they're tight. And this is supposed to be the same size. I think this is 6 millimeters OD. It's supposed to be the same size, but you can see I had to grind this down just to get it to semi-work. And I don't want to have to do that. It really pisses me off. Anyway, that's just me whining. Stay tuned. All right, with a lot of cursing and struggling and all that, I did get it on there. And it's looking pretty good. Again, this is temporary. I wish Sky spoke English so that he would know that this is just temporary. Sky, this is temporary. I'm going to be using this guy. But I wanted to see if these would work, this setup on the outside of the shaft. So now I'll get my, in there and the coil, and we'll see how it works. The bigger magnets help. It's really in there. So I'm not sure how long it's going to last, though. So stay tuned. I'm going to get it fired up here. Oh, and really quick, it turns out this was the wrong size rod that I got. This is the right size. It's bigger than that small one. So instead of reprinting this, what I'll do is I'll just print out a sleeve that this will fit into. And it'll work because the printer prints at a high resolution, so there won't be any, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some variation, but so minute it's not going to disrupt how this is going to function. But yeah, I'm going to use this one with the with the brass. Going to go in there. There's going to be a sleeve in there that I'm going to print out right now, so I should be able to show you guys that fitting today. And maybe even, I don't think I have the right, oh, actually, I think I might have bearings that'll fit on here, some ring magnets. But anyway, I'm heating up my glue gun because he said I need to, which he's right, I need to secure the coil to the base. And then the base needs to be able to move in and out like this. So anyway, stay tuned. So another side note, if you guys are thinking about getting yourself a cordless hot glue gun, they're a great investment, but they go through batteries like water, because you're pumping in just all of the battery's power into these elements to get the glue stick hot. So they eat up the battery life, I think, faster than a power tool, because it's just dumping pure amperage into the heating elements. But it is a great tool, because I'm going to hot glue this coil to this glass base so that I can slide it in and out. Anyway, stay tuned. And there it goes. Nice and smooth, huh? Getting a lot of back EMF. Oh, come on. Let me put it down there. So let me adjust this. Oh, yeah. Pulling it back speeds it up. Nope, doesn't like that. That really speeds it up. Yeah, so that's going really well. I hope it doesn't explode. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of, so it might look like it's, oh no, it's not even flickering on the camera. Oops. I'm really surprised pulling back the coil speeds it up. Yeah, it's flying now. I got to get a tack on there, see what it's doing. But I'm not looking for super high RPM. That is working really nice. Working really nice. Let me take, hold tight. I had to take the camera out of the stand. So in looking at it through the camera, it doesn't look like it's going very fast. I'm not sure what that's all about, but it's flying. I think you guys can hear it, right? So that's at 12.4 volts. Now, when I pull it back, it goes a little bit faster. Oops. Yeah, again, this is just a test, just to see it work. This is not going to be the final output. I'm using the test hall circuit on it. I'm not using the good one yet. I mean, they're all good. But yeah, when it slows down, it wobbles a little bit. But yeah, that worked out really, really well. Whoops. Slow down there, buddy. Slow down there. So yeah, so Sky, you were right. Moving this in and out like this changes the speed. I always thought just getting it super close would make it go faster, but it doesn't. Actually pulling it back makes it go faster, and I don't really know why. But let me print the sleeve out for this guy, because I want to get building the big one. Again, just a test. All right, guys, ciao.